What happens if you stop sleeping? Every night, while the world becomes quiet, your body begins one of the most important operations of your life. Your eyes close, your breathing slows, your muscles relax, and deep inside your brain, billions of cells begin cleaning, repairing, organizing, and resetting the system that keeps you alive. Sleep looks like nothing, but inside the body, it is everything. It is where memories are stored, where emotions are balanced, where damaged cells are repaired, where the immune system prepares for tomorrow, and where the brain quietly removes the waste it has collected during the day. But now, imagine something different. Imagine tonight you do not sleep, not even for 1 minute. You stay awake through the darkness, through the silence, through the hours when your body is begging you to shut down. At first, nothing seems dangerous. You feel tired, but still normal. Your phone is still in your hand. The room is still around you. The world has not changed. But inside your brain, the first cracks have already begun. After about 16 hours awake, your body starts to move into unfamiliar territory. This is the point where most people are supposed to rest. Your brain has been taking in information all day. Sounds, colors, conversations, faces, decisions, stress, light, movement. And now, it wants time to process it. But you do not give it that time. So the brain begins to improvise. Your attention starts to weaken. Not dramatically, not all at once, but slowly. You reread the same sentence twice. You forget why you walked into a room. You check your phone, then forget what you were looking for. Small mistakes begin to appear. Tiny gaps in awareness. Moments where your mind seems to drift away, then suddenly return. This is not just tiredness. This is your brain trying to protect itself. As midnight becomes 2 a.m., your body temperature begins to drop. Your internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, is sending a powerful signal. Sleep now. This rhythm is older than civilization, older than electricity, older than clocks. For most of human history, darkness meant danger, but it also meant rest. The body learned to follow the sun. But in the modern world, artificial light keeps us awake. Screens trick the brain. Notifications keep attention alive. And the body is forced to operate against a biological program written over millions of years. By 3 a.m., the first night without sleep begins to feel strange. Your thoughts become slower. Your reactions become weaker. Your emotions become louder. Something small that would normally not bother you suddenly feels irritating. A simple problem feels heavier. A quiet room feels uncomfortable. This happens because sleep is not only for energy. Sleep helps regulate the emotional centers of the brain. Without it, the part of your brain that reacts to fear, stress, and frustration becomes more sensitive. At the same time, the part that helps you stay calm and make rational decisions becomes less effective. In simple words, the emotional brain gets louder, and the logical brain gets quieter. This is why one sleepless night can make the world feel sharper, colder, and more difficult. By morning, you have been awake for around 24 hours. And now, something important has changed. You may still be standing, you may still be talking, you may even tell yourself, "I'm fine." But your brain is no longer working at full power. Your attention is reduced, your memory is weaker, your decision-making is impaired, your reaction time slows down. And the dangerous part is this: you may not fully realize how impaired you are. Sleep deprivation hides itself. A tired brain is not always aware that it is tired. It becomes less able to judge its own mistakes. So you might feel confident while your performance is already falling. This is one reason sleep loss can be so dangerous. It does not always feel like a crisis from the inside. Instead, it feels like pushing through, like being strong, like winning against your body. But you are not winning. You are borrowing energy from systems that were never meant to run without rest. During the day, your brain uses chemical messengers to stay alert. One of them is adenosine. The longer you stay awake, the more adenosine builds up. It creates pressure, a biological weight, that heavy, sleepy feeling behind your eyes. Caffeine can temporarily block that signal. It can make the brain feel more awake, but it does not remove the sleep pressure. It only hides it. The debt is still there, and sooner or later, the body will try to collect. As the first day continues, your immune system also begins to shift. Sleep helps coordinate the body's defenses. Without enough rest, inflammatory signals can rise. The body becomes more stressed, hormones begin to change. Cortisol, the stress hormone, may increase. Your appetite can become harder to control. Cravings may become stronger. Your body begins looking for quick energy, sugar, salt, caffeine, anything that feels like fuel. But the real fuel it needs is sleep. By the afternoon, the world may feel slightly unreal. Lights may seem too bright. Sounds may feel more irritating. Your eyes may struggle to focus. Your body moves, but your mind feels delayed. You are awake, but not fully present. And this is where the brain begins using a terrifying emergency tool: microsleep. A microsleep is a short, uncontrollable episode where the brain briefly enters sleep, sometimes for only a few seconds. Your eyes may stay open. Your body may remain upright. You may not even notice it happened. But for those few seconds, parts of your brain shut down. If you are sitting at a desk, you might only lose track of time. But if you are driving, operating equipment, or making an important decision, a few seconds can change everything. The frightening thing about microsleep is that it does not ask permission. It happens when the pressure becomes too high. The brain simply takes what it needs, even if you refuse, even if the situation is dangerous, even if you think you are still in control. As evening comes again, you enter the second night. This is where the experience becomes more psychological. The body expected sleep. It did not get it. So now it begins pushing harder. Your eyes burn. Your head feels heavy. Your thoughts become fragmented. A sentence starts in your mind, then disappears before it finishes. You may become more impulsive, more emotional, more careless. Simple tasks require more effort. And your brain begins losing one of its most valuable abilities: the ability to filter reality. Normally, your brain is not just receiving the world, it is editing it. It decides what matters and what does not. It ignores background noise. It separates imagination from perception. It keeps dreams inside sleep and waking life outside of dreams. But when sleep deprivation deepens, that boundary begins to weaken. You might see movement in the corner of your eye. You might hear a sound that is not really there. A shadow may seem to shift. A pattern on the wall may look like a face for half a second. These are not full hallucinations yet. They are small distortions, tiny errors in the brain's prediction system. But they are a warning, because the brain is beginning to dream while awake. And this raises one of the strangest truths about sleep. Sleep is not optional downtime. It is not a luxury. It is not the opposite of productivity. Sleep is a biological requirement, a survival process. Every known animal with a nervous system shows some form of rest. Even creatures that live in dangerous environments have found ways to sleep. Dolphins can rest one half of the brain at a time. Birds can sleep during long flights. Some animals sleep for only short bursts. Others sleep for most of the day. But none of them escape the need entirely, because the brain cannot simply run forever. It must reset. It must repair. It must disconnect from the outside world to maintain the world inside. And after just one full day without sleep, you begin to understand why. You are still alive. You are still awake. But you are not the same person you were yesterday. Your brain is slower. Your emotions are sharper. Your body is stressed. Your immune system is shifting. Your memory is weaker. Your attention is unstable. And the line between waking and dreaming has begun to blur. Most people at this point would finally collapse into bed. And after a long sleep, much of the damage from one sleepless night can improve. The brain is resilient. The body can recover. But what if you do not stop? What if one night becomes two? What if you push past the warning signs, past the exhaustion, past the microsleeps, past the strange shadows in the corner of the room? At 48 hours, the brain no longer just feels tired, it begins to break its own rules. And soon, the body will start doing something even more disturbing. It will try to sleep while you are still awake. The second night arrives. You have now been awake for nearly 48 hours. Your body is exhausted. Your mind is desperate for rest. But somehow, you keep going. At this point, sleep is no longer just a feeling. It has become a biological emergency. Every second, your brain is fighting against millions of years of evolution. Every cell is demanding the same thing: sleep. But you refuse, and the brain begins to change the rules. Your concentration almost disappears. Simple conversations become difficult to follow. You may lose track of what someone just said, even if they finished speaking only seconds ago. Reading becomes frustrating. You reach the end of a paragraph only to realize you remember none of it. Your working memory, the system that temporarily holds information, begins to fail. It's like trying to write on a whiteboard that someone keeps erasing. At the same time, your sense of time becomes distorted. Minutes feel like hours. Hours disappear without warning. Your brain can no longer accurately measure the passage of time, because many of the neural systems responsible for attention and awareness are no longer functioning normally. Then something even stranger begins to happen. Microsleeps become more frequent. During these brief moments, parts of your brain simply switch off. You may continue walking. You may continue staring straight ahead. Someone might even think you're paying attention. But inside your head, entire networks have temporarily gone offline. You won't remember those missing seconds. To you, time simply vanishes. Researchers believe these microsleeps are the brain's emergency survival mechanism. If you refuse to sleep voluntarily, the brain will steal tiny pieces of sleep anyway, because at some point, staying awake becomes physically impossible. Imagine driving a car at highway speed. At 100 kilometers per hour, a 2-second microsleep means traveling more than 50 meters without conscious control. You never intended to fall asleep. You never even realized it happened. But the consequences can be catastrophic. This is why sleep deprivation has been linked to serious accidents in transportation, healthcare, manufacturing, and many other professions where constant attention is critical. As your second sleepless day continues, your emotions become increasingly unpredictable. You may laugh at something that isn't funny, become angry over something insignificant, or suddenly feel overwhelming sadness for no clear reason. Your emotional control is weakening because communication between the thinking part of the brain and the emotional centers is becoming less efficient. Without healthy sleep, emotions lose their balance. Stress becomes heavier, fear becomes stronger, patience becomes shorter. Then, the hallucinations begin. Not necessarily dramatic ones, not monsters, not ghosts, at least, not at first. You might think someone called your name. You turn around, nobody is there. You see a dark object move across the floor. It disappears. A jacket hanging on a chair suddenly looks like a person standing in the room. Patterns seem to breathe. Shadows appear to move. Your brain is no longer interpreting reality with perfect accuracy. Instead, it starts filling in missing information. The exhausted brain becomes less reliable at distinguishing between external reality and internally generated images. In other words, dreams begin leaking into consciousness. This isn't madness, it's exhaustion. The brain is attempting to perform functions normally reserved for sleep while you are still awake. Scientists still don't fully understand every mechanism behind these hallucinations, but they know one thing. The longer sleep deprivation continues, the more disconnected perception becomes from reality. One of the most remarkable examples of prolonged sleep deprivation happened in 1964. A 17-year-old high school student named Randy Gardner decided to attempt a world record. His goal was simple: stay awake longer than anyone else. Hour after hour, day after day, he remained awake under close observation. As the days passed, researchers documented dramatic changes. His memory became unreliable, his speech slowed, concentration collapsed, his mood shifted unpredictably. At times, he struggled to recognize simple objects. He experienced perceptual distortions, and completing basic mental tasks became increasingly difficult. Yet, after more than 11 days without sleep, he finally slept. And remarkably, after recovering, he returned to normal without lasting neurological damage being reported. His experiment became one of the most famous demonstrations of how profoundly sleep deprivation can affect the human mind. But it also revealed something important. Just because recovery is possible after a rare, carefully monitored event does not mean prolonged sleep deprivation is safe. The human brain can be astonishingly resilient, but resilience has limits. There is another story, far more disturbing. Unlike Randy Gardner, these people never chose to stay awake. They couldn't sleep, even if they wanted to. There exists an extremely rare inherited disorder called fatal familial insomnia. It affects a specific protein in the brain. Over time, regions that help regulate normal sleep become severely damaged. People with this condition gradually lose the ability to sleep. At first, it may seem like ordinary insomnia, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep. But eventually, sleep disappears almost entirely. As weeks and months pass, the consequences become devastating. Cognitive function declines, movement becomes difficult. The body's automatic systems become increasingly unstable. Because sleep is not merely a period of inactivity, it is an essential biological process that the brain cannot permanently replace. Fatal familial insomnia is extraordinarily rare. Most people with insomnia do not have this condition, but it demonstrates something extraordinary. Sleep is not optional. It is built into the very architecture of human life. Scientists continue studying sleep because many of its mysteries remain unsolved. Why do we dream? Why does the brain choose certain memories to keep while allowing others to fade? Exactly how does sleep support learning, emotional regulation, and long-term brain health? We know much more today than we did decades ago. Yet sleep still remains one of biology's greatest puzzles. Ironically, we spend nearly 1/3 of our lives doing something science is still trying to fully understand. And perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. Every night, billions of people willingly surrender consciousness, unable to see, unable to hear, unable to defend themselves, trusting that several hours later, they will wake up again. Every civilization has slept, every culture has dreamed, every generation has depended on something that appears completely passive, yet quietly determines how well we think, how well we heal, how well we remember, and perhaps how long we live. So the next time you consider sacrificing another night's sleep to finish one more episode, one more project, or one more hour scrolling through your phone, remember this. Your body is not asking for sleep because it is weak. Your brain is asking for sleep because that is how it survives. While you are awake, you experience life, but while you are asleep, your brain prepares you to live it again. Because sleep is not the absence of consciousness. It is one of the most active and remarkable processes your body will ever perform. And every single night, without you even noticing, it quietly saves your life.